What's good, everyone? I want to welcome you all to another episode of Triggered News Topics. And I'm your host, Thy Lord Amin Ra. Now, today's commentary is entitled The Old Democrat Bait and Switch Game. Come and follow me. Once again, people, it's election season. And once again, here we go with the Democrats attempting to bamboozle us. Bamboozle us again, giving us false promises, false hopes, creating false narratives, stating that they're on the black community side once again. But every time the Democrats want to get themselves elected or get a law passed, here they come always want to call on the black community. Yup, and once again, here they go, always trying to make specific promises to us to get their vote. But the problem is that they always are baiting us. They're baiting us in by saying that they're going to give us something, give us a law, give us an amendment, something that's going to help black people specifically. Like, for example, affirmative action. We all know about affirmative action. Yeah, affirmative action was a policy that was created specifically for black people to right the wrongs of this country that was towards us. But once again, just like many times before and many times after, once they implicate the program and it's in effect, the law and everything's been signed, here we go with the switch up. Oh yeah, they switch it up by putting other groups into the bill or into the realm of collecting benefits. And they do this by tricking us, by using terms like minority or people of color. And by using that, they are able to subvert the benefits of the specific program. Just like many, many other programs or amendments or policies, that majority goes to other groups anyway. And these other groups, they disguise themselves as minorities, but are in reality part of the dominant society. For example, white women, they received affirmative action, but white women are the other half of the dominant society. The white LGBTQ community, once again, part of the dominant society. Or they'll use other ethnic groups that really classify themselves as white people too, once you look into the census. While black people, the one whose names are invoked, called upon every election season, barely get crumbs. We're always getting hustled. Always. Hustled out of money meant for us. Hustled out of programs meant for us. Hustled out of jobs meant for us. And yet and still, we are always the name, face, and motivation of these positive programs or benefits or set-asides. But the funny thing is about this country, they always want to flip it. They always want to flip it on who? Us. Because even though statistics state that black people are mostly law-abiding citizens, they'll also use our names. They'll also use our plight. But like I said again, they'll switch it up by making us the poster child for all that is negative and criminal in this society. Which once again, Democrats find a way to use us. Who's us? Black people. Of course, we're always America's favorite punching bag. And they always uses us as the catalyst to create stringent laws and bills. But the funny thing is, or I shouldn't say funny, the ironic thing is, once them laws are passed, they will use the full weight and resources of this government to enforce the crime bill or law and actions to the fullest extent against black people. And it basically looks exclusively. This is real tiresome. It's stressful. Why? Because this is nothing new. This has been going on since the end of slavery. But I got a question I want to pose to my black people in this country. Are you tired yet? Are you tired yet? Aren't you tired of getting conned all the time? Getting hoodwinked all the time? Or getting bamboozled all the time? As the late, great Malcolm X said. He warned us a long time ago, Malcolm X, about them liberals. Way back in the 60s. And this is these are the 2023s or 20s or whatever how you want to call it. And what he said back in the 60s is still relevant. How these Democrats are deceptive. And how they always create that illusion of inclusiveness for us. But in reality, these Democrats are nothing but con men. And if you've ever been in the streets, you ever been around con men, people that are grifters, scammers, they'll tell you the greatest con that can ever be pulled is when the victim themselves believe wholeheartedly in the con. And the con here, the repetitive con, the American con, is called democracy and the American way. In quotations, my fingers. But as a people that has been constantly oppressed in this country, that has been constantly saboteured in this country, has been constantly oppressed upon in this country, we want to believe so bad that things in this country has changed. And that is how the Democrats get us every single time. Because they're able to use that longing, that wish, that desire to be part of this society as an equal being. They're able to use that to bait us in all the time. Bait us in for their campaigns. Bait us in for their votes. And once they get our votes, once they done made their grand promises and we done went out on election day and we done hit the polls and got them in, oh, here comes the switch up. Everything that they promised to us before they won the election seems to disappear null and void, as we are now have experienced in these past 4 years with whole lying Biden. So I made this just to wake our people up and make you aware of the whole Democrat bait and switch game. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I ask y'all, if you have any comments, leave it in the commentary. We could discuss it. But if you're new to this channel, I want to ask you to subscribe. And whether you're new or you're old, I always ask, please hit the like button. And tune in once again to the next episode. In the next episode. And if you want to be involved with the conversation, use your fingers. If not, sit back quiet and just listen. I'll enjoy your company. Thank you for tuning in. This is Triggered News Topics, and I'm your host, once again, Thy Lord Amen Ra. You all have a good night. Peace.